Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. So today I want to share 25 classics I want to read in 2025. So this is, oh, by the way, if you see steam coming up, I mentioned this in my last video. I am getting over the flu, so I'm congested and my voice sounds a little croaky. So I'll be drinking a little bit of this coffee as I share with you these books, and I apologize for that, but I'm trying to get these videos filmed because I'm behind. So anyway, today it's about the classics I want to read for 2025, and the reason I have these particular classics on my list for this year is because I already have these on my shelf. I don't need to go buy another book. This past year, and I will share some favorites later. I usually do like the end of the month favorites. But again, I had the flu and I hadn't had a chance to do December. And I was going to do one for the whole year. And one of the favorites for me last year was this library. If you look around me, there are shelves surrounding me. This was my son's room, Caleb, my son who is married now and has a child. And I decided to make it into a library. And so it is, my husband came in and he put down new flooring in here and he built all these shelves on his own by himself. And he did a great job. He painted it and everything. And all I had to do was fill it up with books. And that's what I've done. I mean, it's full of books. I mean, I still have room because I do have some knickknacks. And over on this side, there's a desk. But I do have a couple of shelves that are empty, and I want to read the books that are on these shelves because I'm so thankful that my husband gave me this space that I love. I mean, I come in here, y'all, and I just smile at this room. It just makes me so happy. If you're a reader like me, you understand the joy of being surrounded by beautiful books. And so I am going to read these books because they're looking at me every day when I come in here. And I'm so thankful for this library that houses them. But I want to make room for more. So I'm going to read these and see which ones I really want to keep on my shelf. And there's some that I know I'll keep because they're part of a collection. But there's others that, you know, I'm not sure if I'm going to even enjoy that author or not. So I'm going to read through these and see how it goes. So my criteria, I say all that to say, my criteria for my classics for 2025 were books that were already on my shelf. Okay, so here we go. So the first two are Charles Dickens books because I'm trying to read all of the Charles Dickens, and I am well on my way. I have read more than half of Charles Dickens. So for this year, this is from the Heritage Press. I talk about these books all the time. This is Barnaby Rudge in this one. And then the second book is The Old Curiosity Shop. So I haven't read Barnaby Rudge or The Old Curiosity Shop. So I knew first that I would choose two Charles Dickens to read this year. Now, these will take me longer because they're Victorian, they're Charles Dickens, they're longer books. And I like to really, you know, sink my teeth into them and take my time. So I know that those will take me longer. So some of the books on this shelf are going to be much shorter kinds of books, and even some middle grade type classics too, to kind of even things out for me. So anyway, those are the first two Charles Dickens. And then this was the one in my last video, AI, when I asked AI what books, based on what I read, what my preferences are, what book should I read next, and every time it was Middlemarch by George Eliot. Now I have a beautiful copy of this in a hardcover, but I have it over here on my desk and I forgot to pull it. But anyway, this is my paperback. I'll probably read it from this because I have a feeling I want to take notes. And so in this one, this is an old used copy. It's one of the Penguin classics. It's an old used copy and I can write in this one. So I'll probably read it first time through in this one. So I hope that I enjoy this. Let me know if you've read Middlemarch. This was one that I've been putting off, but I'm ready to try George Eliot. And actually, I think I have another George Eliot on this list too. So Middlemarch is the third one. The next one was a gift this past Christmas. Elizabeth over at Lizzie Faye Loves Books gave me The Lost Prince by Frances Hodgson Burnett in this beautiful copy. I love the look of this one, so I'm excited to read from that edition. And then my husband gave me this one. This is Dr. Thorne by Anthony Trollope. This is the third in the series that I'm going through. So this is definitely my next Anthony Trollope. By the way, I also just finished an Anthony Trollope that I hadn't talked about that I started last year. And I'll be sharing that soon. And then this one I'm really excited about. My husband gave me this too, so I want to read it. And it is The House by the Churchyard by Sheridan Le Fanu. And I read Uncle Silas last year, and it was a favorite. It was one of my all-time favorites. I really think it's going to stay on that list for a very long time. So I'm excited to try another by this author. And my husband gave me this beautiful copy. This one I've already started because while I was sick, I asked in my communities, on my communities page, what should I read next? And I gave you some choices. And this one, and it's Ethan Frome by Edith Wharton. And I have only read Summer by Edith Wharton. So I have 3 books on this list by Edith Wharton because I did love Summer. I enjoyed that book a lot. Now, it was a little depressing, I will say that. And I think this one might be depressing too, but I do enjoy her writing, and so far I'm enjoying this, but I've already started this one and it's not that long. So Ethan Frome, and then 2 more by Edith Wharton, The House of Mirth and The Age of Innocence. And I can't believe I haven't read these. I've had these books and Edith Wharton on my shelf for a long time. So this is the year for Edith Wharton. I'm going to try to read several of hers. And then this is another Frances Hodgson Burnett. This is one I'm talking about that's not as long, so it kind of evens things out for me. And this is called Edith's Burglar, and it looks very short. It is a slim little volume, and it has 60-something pages in it. So this will be a day read, but it is a classic, and so I wanted to get to that one too. Now the next 2, you might be surprised I haven't read these, but these are by Louisa May Alcott. And there are several in this stack that are Louisa May Alcott. I have read, what are they? Little Women and, I had to look on my shelf. Little Women and Good Wives. I've read Little Women and Good Wives several times, but I have not read any more. I have never gone any farther with that. And I have a set of these, but I haven't read these 2. Usually I read Little Women in this huge book, and there's Little Women and Good Wives is in that book. So I've read those 2, but I haven't read Little Men or Joe's Boys. So those will be next for me for Louisa May Alcott. And then I have some others by Louisa May Alcott. 8 Cousins. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that beautiful book. And then I think this is the sequel to 8 Cousins. Yep, sequel to 8 Cousins. Rose in Bloom. And then this is a short story collection, A Garland for Girls. So I thought this would be good because this is, something I could put on my nightstand and gradually read through the short stories. But again, it's a classic. And then one more, and you can't really tell anything because it doesn't show the title. But this is called The Inheritance by Louisa May Alcott. And again, it's very short too. So this won't take me long. And that way, again, when I'm reading these longer ones, I can kind of stagger these shorter ones through. Another short one is Daddy Longlegs, and that is by Jean Webster. I have said I was going to read this forever. Again, it's not that long. I think this is epistolary. I think so. She's actually, isn't it epistolary? Yes, it's epistolary. It's letters all the way through. So that shouldn't take me long. This one, I became interested in reading this after watching Janelle one time. I miss Janelle so much. She was such a great buddy reader. But Janelle used to talk about this on her channel, and that is The Scarlet Pimpernel. And I have a great copy. Look at that great copy of that. But I think that they made a movie of this too, and I want to watch the movie, so I need to read the book. But let me know if you've read this, because I know nothing about this. It says it's got a little under 300 pages, so I don't think that'll take me too long. Again, it is a classic. They do take me a little bit longer, but I'm excited for that one, and I don't hear too many people talk about it, but I do remember Janelle enjoyed that one. This is by Henry James. It's one I just picked up at a library sale, What Maisie Knew. I don't hear anybody talk about that one by Henry James. This is an E. Nesbit. Now, I hear about this one. The Story of the Treasure Seekers. I've heard about that one a lot. But again, this is a middle grade, so it won't take me as long. And I could read this for middle grade March or something too. The next three are Shakespeare plays. Last year, one of my favorite things I read was The Merchant of Venice, and so it really excited me to continue my journey through Shakespeare. And so I have some of these No Fear Shakespeare, and I have no shame that I read these. Some people are like, oh, that's for high schoolers. Well, I guess I think like a high schooler because I love these, and I think it's a great way to read Shakespeare for the first time, because one side is the original text of Shakespeare, the other side is a modern version. So if you don't know what's going on like me half the time, you can read through. Now sometimes I can read right through. I tell you what usually happens for me. I start it and I have to every page look at the modern version, but then once I get the gist of the story, I'm fine with just reading the Shakespeare part. I don't know about you, and maybe if you want to try Shakespeare, you could try that. But anyway, for me, it works. So I have in the No Fear Shakespeare, King Lear. These are the last ones I'm looking on my shelf. I think these are the last No Fears I have that I haven't read yet. Much Ado About Nothing. And my son liked this one a lot, so I'm excited to try it. And then The Taming of the Shrew, I was going to read last year, and I didn't get to it. So The Taming of the Shrew. And then, let's see what else I have. The Man Who Was Thursday by G.K. Chesterton. Another favorite from last year was Winter Fire, and it was essays about Christmas written by G.K. Chesterton, and I loved every minute of it. I couldn't wait every morning to get up and read a little bit more. So it made me really interested in G.K. Chesterton, and I've only read some of the Father Brown mysteries and then one other book. So I've had this one for quite some time. It's the Penguin Classic of The Man Who Was Thursday. This is not that long either, so it shouldn't take me too long. And then a George Eliot, Silas Marner. So those are the 25 classics I have on my shelf right now that I hope to read in 2025. Let me know if you've read any of these. And I'm already reading Ethan Frome, enjoying that, but which one should I read next? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.